this is Rogue 73, and today I'm going to talk about what type of items that you might want to put into your first aid kit. Now bear in mind that everybody's first aid kit is going to be different depending on the scenario you're going to use it for, so you really have to think of what type of first aid kit you're going to make and why you're going to make it. So I'm just going to give you some ideas what you'd want to put into a first aid kit and why you'd want to put it in. My expertise is coming from a rescue scenario, because that's the background that I have, where we would use more type of stabilizing first aid stuff and little kind of a larger type boo-boo kit, not blowout kits, not gunshot kits. They're totally different, but I will show you some items that you can put into your first aid kit that can be used in an emergency for those situations as well, and I'll explain how to use them. So let's get to it. Okay, so what's some of the first items that you'd want to put into your first aid kit? Okay, basically gloves. Surgical gloves are probably one of the most important things you're going to have to put into a first aid kit. Okay, either keep them, this is a big whole load of them there that I bought a big bag of them. I keep them in a Ziploc bag, keeps them from drying out, really great. Always keep a little pair with you, just keep a little Ziploc bag with you at all times. I would suggest actually keeping 3 gloves in your little bag. Why 3 is because you put one in either hand, and then if you're treating more than one person, it's normally just your main prominent hand that you've actually been dealing with the actual patient with, that you've been kind of touching with, examining with, maybe getting blood on. So you can strip off that one glove, put one glove back on, or put the 2 of them on and then strip off one glove, and you still have 2 pretty usable gloves in an emergency situation. Okay, we found as a medic, that's something I found out, so definitely gloves is a must. Next thing I would definitely suggest to put into a first aid kit is some type of compression bandage. Okay, blood stoppers, ambulance dresses. These come in many different sizes. Okay, it's a number 2, it's a number 3. I have a number 1 somewhere, but that's actually in another pack. This is actually another number 2. I keep in a plastic covering to keep it dry. Normally I keep this in a pocket that I use, so I want to keep it with a bit more weatherproofing. This one's with a new quick opening. And if anyone doesn't know what an ambulance dressing is, basically it is a large piece of cotton wool with very large straps on it, one longer than the other, and basically you place it over the wound and hold the short one, you unravel the large one, and you go over and back over again and back over again, putting pressure on the wound as you tie it. It's a bit like an Israeli dressing, just without the H part on it, so you should know what those things are. Basically this is another larger one. Okay, 4-in-1 first aid dressing. Now what I like about this one, and I have it covered up, I'm just going to open it for you again, is basically, if we can get the sellotape off, it has instructions on how to use it, and it's going to give you some really good ideas on what you can use it for. Okay, this one is really great. It has a bit about CPR, how to do very simple CPR, then how to stop the blood. And as you can see here, this is what I'm saying, it's a big piece of cotton wool basically with 2 straps on either side. Place it over the wound, start wrapping it around, giving it some tension, and then elevate the injury. That's it there. It comes in a nice sealed little bag inside. Okay, so that's all sealed up. I can just rip that open. Comes out like that. There you go. It's all still sealed. Okay. This also then tells you how to treat for shock. It does come from Ireland, so it's going to have the emergency dialing number for Ireland. Okay, even tells you what to give, your name, where you're ringing from, the type of accident, number of people in the injury, and the type of injury. Simple things to remember. Okay, so they are really good to have with you. And basically, what I've just been showing you is all the same. This tells you about how to do the 4-in-1 stopping, basically by using extra inserts. Then you can add extra pressure to the actual wound. What these type of dressings are really good for is large injuries, basically anything that's been penetrated through the body, left a hole, bleeding. So you're talking about impalement on something, something being stabbed through somebody, even down to a gunshot wound. These are what you're going to need to use. Okay, if you don't have the time or money to go out and get blood clot and things like that, and a good ambulance dressing. Now, people always think, hey, these things don't grade. If the person's bleeding out, there's pressure points you can press on to help reduce the bleeding. Basically, body, limb elevation. And then you can also by using a triangular bandage with the blood stopper, you can actually add more pressure on the wound to stop it from bleeding. Normally you have to leave these on for a good 10 minutes before the blood starts to clot. So as long as you can keep it on good pressure for at least 10 minutes for the blood to start clotting, you're okay. Okay, but don't take them off again. Leave them on until you can get proper medical help to a hospital. The only time you would be thinking about taking these off is if you're in an emergency situation, you have no other alternative, and that you're trying to keep the injury or area clean, that after a day or so, and if you have spare bandages to clean it out with and redress it with, then you can start taking them off the injury. Because once you take them off, any scabbing or blood clot that's formed between the bandage and the wound will open up again straight away. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, definitely triangular bandages. I keep a rake load of these things. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got a white one here somewhere. 5. I have to zoom out. 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, got 9 of them there. Now you think, what the hell is this? This is called a donut. Okay, it's what you need the triangular bandages for. If you got an impalement, someone's been stabbed with a knife, the knife's still sticking out of them, you make these lovely little donuts, you stick it over the impalement that's still sticking out of the body until you can cover the actual piece that's sticking out. Okay, and then using another triangular bandage, you're going to actually make what's called a broad bandage. Put it down one side, wrap around the limb, push it down the other side, and basically you're going to push the donut down onto the wound. You're not touching the item like the knife or anything that's sticking out of the person. You're actually keeping pressure around the wound to help it stop bleeding and keep the actual item in place to stop it from wiggling around and causing more damage. That's what those are for. You can also use this then if a person has a head injury. You can use it as a cushion. If you've broken a leg and you're strapping it to do the leg, you can put these in between the knees and ankle. These come in really, really handy. You can actually also then use it as part of a pressure point bandage. If you're trying to stop bleeding to an arm or a leg, there is a point just underneath your armpit that you can jam this into and then wrap it round with another triangular bandage to put pressure on the point to stop the blood flow. There's another point then in your groin area, which is your femoral artery, which again you can actually make this as a ball. Again, strap it in place, push it down. It's like making a fist and pushing it into the actual blood vessel. Okay, so these things are really handy to do. Triangular bandages, I said, not only for arm splints. We used to use them for basically strapping legs together, basically mobilizing the casualty, making them comfortable. You can use them for wrapping around head injuries, foot injuries, hand injuries, a lot of things. Holding these in place or any other type of dressing that you want on the wound. Okay, so they're definitely something you want to have in your first aid kit. Sorry. Crate bandages. These are great for sprains, sprained wrists, sprained ankles, sprained knees. Again, if you want to wrap legs together, hold dressings in place, these things have another multitude of uses. Great things to have. They come in different sizes. And they're reusable. That's the great thing about them. You just stick them in the washing machine, give them a good wash, hang them out to dry, iron them. Why I'd iron them if I was you is because then that helps to sterilize them with the heat. Wrap them up, stick a pin in them, you're good to go again. That is another ambulance dressing, but the whole packaging has come away, so now it's just down to the bare minimum. Still good to use. A comb. What would you use a comb for? Well, if you come across somebody who's been in a car crash, they've got glass in their hair, other foreign objects, having a nice comb to comb through the hair, get the glass out of the hair, get any foreign debris out of the hair, it's really handy. Somebody has a scalp injury, you may want to need to comb the hair away from the injury, so then you can actually get at the wound. Comb has a multitude of uses. Don't think it's underrated. Okay. Alcohol wipes, definitely a must. Something else, if you can get your hands on, is basically burn gel. That's what this is. This is cooling gel. And basically, if you got a burn from any type of basically fire, heat, you can just apply this directly on the wound. Comes with the dispenser, cools it down. Okay, no putting butter on things. Don't put butter on burns. That makes it worse. Cooling gel. Okay. So other things you can talk about burns. This is a paraffin dressing. Yeah, paraffin. Yeah, stuff that helps your heater work. That's what this is. The paraffin gauze. Stick this over the burn area. Keep it covered. Again, use a triangular bandage to hold it in place. You're good to go. Now, this is the largest size you should have. If you got a burn bigger than this, you're in trouble. Okay? I mean, you are in trouble. You're gonna have possibility of death. Okay? This is the largest size burn you want to get. Okay? After that, you're going to be in agonizing pain and you're going to be needing a lot of fluids. Okay? So, a few of those good to have. Some of the things I picked up when I was back home. This is saline dressing. Basically, what these things are great is that they've got kind of a shiny one side and the other side's kind of fluffy. These are actually just sterilized dressings to put over wounds. These are some more. These are hospital issue ones. Non-adhesive dressings. 3" by 8 inches. Okay, these things are really great. These are long strip ones. You can cut these into different sizes and use them. Something else I picked up are these things which basically look like giant tampons, and that's what they are. They are basically blood absorbers. So if I did have a heavy bleeder from a gunshot wound, I would pack this around the wound and hold it in place with the triangular bandages, conforming a compression sac. These things should soak up at least about 2 liters of blood each. These things are good to have. Okay, you can get your hands on them. I've got a nice little bag here of sterilized swabs as well. Good to keep going. This is actually hospital grade sticky tape for holding basically any of these things in place on your body. These are really good. Again, you can cut it whatever size you want. Let's see what else I got here. Talked about in my last video. Vent aid. Okay. Need that. Definitely have a few of those. Got there some more sterilized gauze. Let's see, anything unusual. Masks. Okay. These are just allergy masks, but a mask is good to have. Basically stops you from contaminating the wound by coughing into it, or you catching anything from anybody. You can, helps you a little bit. Every little bit helps. Okay. A good surgical scissors. Okay. Surgical one. Needed. Doesn't have pointy end. Helps you get under the clothes for cutting. Okay, these things cut through nearly anything. You could cut a tin can open with these things. These things are great. Okay, I've used them for cutting seat belts. I've even cut the skin of a car door open with a pair of scissors once to help get into a casualty. So these things are wonderful. Okay, if you can, this actually is a small torch. I have some maybe wipes stuck in here because this actually is the on-off switch to turn it on. And if I move this down a bit, you'll see it should turn on for me. Turn it around actually, so we can get it on. And do this with one hand is not the best thing. There we go. There you go. Okay, not a bright light, but if you're looking in someone's ear or up their nose or trying to have a good look at something, it's not bad. Okay, but as you can see, that was the on-off switch for it, so that's why I had that roll on it. Okay, I think that's about it. We've covered most things. It's a luxury item. This is actually a sterilized sheet that you can put down, lay everything out if you're going to do a little injury. So yeah. Okay. What's missing out of this kit that I don't have with me at the moment basically would be some anesthetic cream of some sort, or even the antiseptic lotion to put on, help clean out wounds. Okay, but these are just some items that I'm suggesting for you to use in your first aid kit. You don't need to have a lot of medication because medication is only good if you got colds, and really that's not what a first aid kit's about. Okay, that's a medicine kit, something completely different. Okay, these are for first aid kits. You can make a small boo-boo pack, which we showed in the last video, or use a lot of this stuff and make a big boo-boo kit. Okay, so I hope this has been helpful for you. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget, be prepared.